Dollar's going away. The U.S. currency will no longer be the reserve currency of the world. Put a law in place back in 2008. They snuck it in, a big, 10,000 page bill where the banks could seize the depositors' and creditors' deposits. So people are asking me what's going on with the U.S. dollar. I'm sure most of you are aware by now. If you're not, go ahead and let you in on it. The dollar's going away. The U.S. currency will no longer be the reserve currency of the world. We will put in what's called a CBDC, which is a programmable digital currency. They've been working on that for several years. Another name for it is Biden bucks, some people are calling it. So cash is going away. And if you've not been made aware up till now, if you've not seen any news reports, because the media is mainly blacking this out, so you don't really know what's going on. But all the leaders around the world are telling everyone to dump the dollar, and their citizens are following suit. So what that's going to do is just destroy the value of our currency. It will go to basically zero, just like Venezuela. If you want to see what's going to happen here, look at what happened to Venezuela when its dollar collapsed or its currency collapsed. That's exactly what's coming here. So everyone needs to be aware of this. They also, in another component, put a law in place back in 2008. They snuck it in, a big, 10,000 page bill where the banks could seize the depositors' and creditors' deposits, and there's no guarantee or even law that says they have to give it back. So this is already happening in other countries around the world. Banks are being burnt to the ground, and the media has a complete blackout on it. So that's how you know it's something they don't want you knowing about. They want you to be unaware of what's coming. So here's what I'll give you a timeline, okay? In July, they will roll out what's called the FedNow system. Now that is basically a payment processing system similar to PayPal or something like that. So from now on, right after that, they'll implement the digital currency. They'll crash the dollar, and then they'll let chaos reign for a few months. I don't know, a few weeks, few months, who knows? I can't tell you exactly how long it'll take. But they need rioting to go on. They need stores to be empty, which that'll only take 3 days after the dollar collapses. You're going to need to have 3 months of food, water, necessary supplies, because stores will empty out very quickly. Think back to when the COVID scam was going on and how fast people rushed and emptied out stores. Okay, well, now just imagine money getting cut off. You have no access. The banks are closed. They will not reopen during this. There's no ATMs that will work. You're just out of cash. They'll be looting. They'll be rioting. It's going to be crazy for a little bit. And they need that. They need that chaos going on so they can force you into the digital dollar system, okay? The programmable digital currency. Now, that's horrible for a lot of reasons. One, they can tell you where you can spend your money, when you can spend it, how much you can spend. They can penalize and take money straight out of your bank account if they don't like what you're saying or doing on social media, or if they tell you to do something like take more shots and you refuse. So if they want to give you more shots and you refuse, they can just shut off your money. Just turn it off like a light switch. There's nothing you can do about it. I mean, you guys have no clue. Well, a lot of people, let me say that. A lot of people have no clue what this means and how much control they're going to have over everything you do or say. It's going to be bad. However, it's probably gone too far to stop at this point. I've been telling people this for a couple of years now. Other people have been trying to tell people and wake people up. It's not worked. Everybody's asleep. Everybody's focused on, what the mainstream media is talking about on any given day, all these crises they keep creating to distract your attention on what's going on here. So it is what it is at this point. Once the FedNow system goes in place in July, it's going to go full online in July. Okay? Once that happens, at some point between now and the end of the year, they are going to crash everything. It'll be the worst crash in human history. However, it's going to take phases for them to completely crash it. Okay? So the first thing they got to do is put the FedNow system in place. Then they have to put the digital currency in place. That'll happen after, a month, 2 months of chaos going on, rioting, all that kind of stuff. When people are just literally at their wits' end, then the government will come out and say, okay, we figured out a way to let things go back to normal. We're going to implement this digital currency system. It's much more stable than the fiat currency. And if you want to get some of your money back that was seized by the banks, the evil banks, and they're all in on it together, you guys got to start waking up to the fact that all of this stuff, governments, banks, Everything is owned on the planet by 13 families. They hide behind the scenes. They use shell corporations, things of that nature, asset protection, to where it's very difficult to track who's behind it all. But the governments, those are just puppets. They don't have any power. All these wars and everything, they control it all on both sides. Okay, they fund both sides. They're profiting off this misery and death and sickness and all this stuff. It's just a game. And people need to wake up to that fact. It's all just scripts. And like a movie, it's basically professional wrestling playing out on a global scale, where they have a script, you got good guys, you got bad guys in front of the camera. Behind the scenes, they're all hanging out, getting drunk, and becoming trillionaires off of our misery and suffering. So this has been going on for thousands of years. It's going to keep going on until we stand up and put a stop to it. So what's going on with stocks right now? You know, there's schemes in the stock market. It's all rigged. I tell people stay out of that thing unless you're knowledgeable enough and on the inside enough to where you're rigging the game, because it's all rigged. So if you're not aware that the game is rigged, then you're the sucker at the table and you're going to get taken. You may have a win here, a win there, but overall, you're going to lose. That's all there is to it. The house always wins, just like Vegas. They didn't build those multi-billion-dollar hotels off people winning, okay, when they come play in the casino. They can only build those things off your losses. Same thing with stocks, bonds, all that type of thing. It's all just scams and rigged. But that's fine. What's going on right now with the stocks, the reason it's going up is because they're suckering people in, okay?
Hey, Shalom, Akim, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakadash. I'd like to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect. Who is in the gospel, brother, of the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. Man, he said everything pretty much that we've been saying. I mean, really, only thing from this point I can really bring out is the precepts, because, I mean, he didn't really just went down the list and broke it all down. Okay, now, if you can't see that they're getting ready to control everybody with this, you know what, then you're sadly mistaken and something is off with you, because, you know, we've been pushing this whole digital setup since the apostles been on YouTube. And me personally, I know myself, since I've been in the truth, my small tenure, I've been speaking on this very prophecy right along with other brothers, man. So you men in there that don't see this, then joke's on you, because dude is really just breaking it down. There ain't no way in hell you can say that we're making it up, because I don't get what you guys are saying. Oh, it's sin, it's a philosophy, it's this and this and that is what you do in your mind. All that other fucking bullshit, bro. Dude is telling you straightforward from the horse's mouth, man. Okay, he said that what they're going to do, they're going to bankrupt, they're going to set up the Fed now, which is next month. We knew that. Now, how they going to roll it out, shit, it's still, we really don't know. But some way, some form, they're going to roll this thing out and they're going to switch everything over. But they're going to have to do that through what they call polycrisis, man. Okay, the year of the polycrisis. Things are getting ready to take a turn for the worse. People are getting ready to be put in predicaments through disparity, okay, through threat, through bloodshed, gunplay, martial law. All these things that this man is talking about in this video is going to be justified when bringing in a totalitarian government, man. And he made mention of the elites, how the 13 families run everything. Everything you see around you, from your gas stations to your corporations to your football teams to your banks, man, to your governments, to your institutions, to your real estate. The elites got their hand in everything, man. Okay, and this man really broke it all the way down. Economic collapse, they're going to let this place fall. Okay, honestly speaking, shit, none of us might not be working by next year unless you take that micro, you know what? Because from what I'm seeing, honestly speaking, I'm thinking that when this happened, they just going to go straight over to the C hip. And the way that it's saying, if these CBDCs or this UBI is what they say it is, then I'm thinking somehow, some way, they just gonna tie that into the micro C hip if it ain't that itself. Now it's different speculations about what it is, because we know it's something they're gonna put in you, the CHIP they're gonna put in you. We do know that it will be put in you, and you won't be able to buy and sell without it. But what are they gonna call it? I don't know. You don't know if it's gonna be called the UBI or the CBDC. We don't know. Okay, because he said Fed now is basically like an algorithm, or like it's like a medium, so to speak, to this digital currency. Like you got an app called Cash App, or you have PayPal, or you got Venmo. Okay, these are all algorithms generated to transfer money through digital means. Okay, you can link them up to your bank accounts, and I'm assuming with this Fed now, if you want your direct deposits, you're gonna have to link it up to your bank account. So if you want to make a wireless transaction out of quote unquote convenience, as they will say, okay, instant payments, because people have been complaining that it takes 2 to 3 days for my money to get deposited in my bank account. I need my money now. So with this new system, they're like, well, look, we could do instant transfers. And it's easy because it ain't really tangible assets. It's not physical hard cash. Okay, it's just numbers on the computer, which I can go on my computer right now and I can literally transfer numbers from one database and copy them over to the next, and they're instant. So this new system is going to be sold to you under what they call convenience, man. And a lot of you Israelites, you're going to take it because you're hell-bent on promoting the wickedness of the society. Okay, you with the money, you with living out your lifestyle in Babylon, and you're not looking forward to the Lord setting up the kingdom because you got your consolation here. Okay, and this is nothing but a blueprint for 2nd Ezra 15 and 16. Mark those words, man. Okay, consolation. Let's read how Shai said. Luke 6, and I'm gonna start at verses 20. Let's start at verses 20. Let's start at 21. No, let's start at 20. It says, and he lifted up his eyes on his disciples and said, blessed be ye poor. It says, for yours is the kingdom of God. Blessed ye that hunger now, for ye shall be filled. And blessed are ye that weep now, for ye shall laugh. Blessed are you when men shall hate you, and they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you and cast your name out as evil for the Son of Man's sake. And I pulled this precept because we are hated among all the Israelite camps. I was looking at a video that a brother had reposted of Nate's breakdown of One West on how Apostle Tahar was the last man that was actually mentioned on that, pretty for the most part, to give some type of credit. He said, well, Tahar was a high priest, he was a general in the school, but they wanted to get rid of him because he taught X, Y, he taught grape, and he taught this and this and this and that. So basically, Apostle Tahar was demonized like the black sheep. And basically, why Nate was quote unquote giving him his props, he was basically talking down on him because he said, that was when he was in his right mind. But wait a minute, you said that he was teaching a grape then. So obviously, then you said he was in his right mind. So how much different now? So which is it? Was he in his right mind or was he not in his right mind? You see, so they hate us because we speak the truth. And Apostle Tahar was no nonsense, man. That spirit of going against the fucking grain. You may be part of something that may be appear to righteous, but sometimes you got to go against the fucking grain, man. You know what I'm saying? Even among our camps, sometimes you're going to have men in these joints that ain't just fucking right, man. You gotta speak up and you gotta say something in order, of course, and with respect. But when things get to the point, yeah, you're gonna be hated because you're teaching the word. This is why GMS is the most hated camp. It says here, rejoice ye in that day and leap for joy, for behold, your reward is great in heaven. For in like manner did their fathers unto the prophets. And another reason too is because the reason why these other camps ain't gonna push the micro C-hip is because of their disdain for Apostle Tahar, because they feel some type of way about him, because he was different. He spoke out. When it wasn't on his spirit, he went against it. And hey, that's a man of the Lord. Okay, because when you think about it, the Lord said, who would stand up for me against wickedness and against evil? Out of all the shit that was going on in the old school, I wasn't there, but I've heard stories. Heard the Apostle Ricard go into it. He was right there. He was going into it face to face. So we've heard the stories over the years on how wicked these schools were, but you had men that rose above it. And now that blot of quote unquote shame that they put on us is carried with us to this day, but that's all good. That's what Yahweh Shai is saying. Okay, we believe that the micro C-hip is the RFID, you know what. And I got to abbreviate it because YouTube, man, they just be tripping. Oh, well, you mentioned this, you know what. I'm like, I didn't say nothing about the 3-pointer. I ain't say nothing about that. I said the micro C, you know what. The small software. That's what I said. Which shows you that it's in the same spirit because they know. But it says, but I say unto you which hear, love your enemies. No, that's not. Nope, Salakia. It says, but woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. Okay. Woe to you that are full, for ye shall hunger. And woe to you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep, man. And woe unto you, and all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets. And I brought that out because a lot of these men are consoled right now with their 501c3s, with their money, with their flashy gimmicks. And this is the reason why they can't speak on all the prophecies coming out to pass, because they're under a gag order. Okay, so when you go to consolation, it goes into the Greek word paraklesis, which means supplication, admonishment, conciliatory summons, admonishment, exhortation. No, that's not the right word. That's not what it. Give me 1 second. You received your consolation. Let's find it. Let me do another look up on that. Sometimes that blue letter is be all over the place, but it says consolation, consolement. Okay, meaning your comfort. You're comforting by taking a bath. Okay, you got your comfort zone. So when all hell break loose, you're gonna fall just like the rest of these people that's dependent on this system. But slowly but surely, people like Nate, all these other camps, they're gonna try to slowly circumvent their doctrine around, well, we never said that it wasn't the Sea man. We got videos of you guys saying that the MOTB was something other than what we were saying it was. All because of your pride and your hatred. Okay? But anyway, regardless of that, this is a perfect setup for Second Ezra, the 15th chapter, because he said it's going to be chaos, it's going to be an anarchy, and they need that in order to restore order. Okay, so this man, what he's saying, I believe everything he's saying for the most part. I mean, he sounds very sure about it, so he must have access to some high-level intel or some high-level knowledge or something that most of us probably don't have access to. But nonetheless, the Spirit of the Lord uses people like that so we can report on it, man. Okay, so let's go from here to the book of Psalms, because it's not going to prevail. That New World Order shit is not going to make it, bro. You're going to get close and the Most High is going to take it from you. That's what we have to look forward to, brothers. He's going to get close, but hey, he ain't going to succeed with it. So when they start the fact that this system is getting ready to go digital, and hopefully, as what he's saying, hopefully by the end of this year, then shit, bro, we can be out of here in another year, man. We could be out of here 24, 25, man. Lord's will. We just don't know how long, they're going to allow the system to be operating, or we don't know how long the Lord is going to allow them to implement that system. But we do know that they're not going to be able to, everybody. They're not going to be able to put that tracker on everybody. So we do know it's going to be a quick process, because when they roll this thing out, they're trying to roll this shit out like overnight. They already got that shit set up for it. That's why it took it so long. But this is the book of Psalm 64. And I'm going to start at verses 7. It says, but the power shall shoot at them with an arrow, which is this truth. And suddenly they should be wounded because they're being exposed. Okay, that's double fold. But so they should make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, and all that see them shall flee away. This is why people are succeeding from them. You got doctors coming out speaking on everything that happened within the last 2-3 years, how it was set up for that purpose and how it was for that purpose. People are leaving the elites, man. People are seeing this. And another thing that proves this too is back in 2020, I think early 2020 or late 2019, before the big thing went down, allegedly all these bankers and these Fortune 500 moguls, a lot of them sold off their stocks and they got out of the country. Because you better believe it or not, the elites, they're not in America, bro. This is the last place they're going to be. They're not over here. All your presidents and your top officials, they're not going to be over here when this shit go down. Well, they're going to be in the bunkers. But the elites, they're like, we don't give a shit about America. This shit, we ain't over here. We don't live over here. So America is basically a big experiment for this big ass, for this whole ordeal. Because look at China. That's totally social based now. You got these AI robots walking around here, man, like the movie Megan. They showed you in that movie Megan what it's going to be like. You're going to have prototypes walking the streets that you're thinking of human beings, and police in the stores. They already got fucking self-driving forklifts, man, in these warehouses. So sooner or later, there's not going to be a need for people anymore. So the economy is going to collapse regardless. You know, like I'll be at work on the meetings and listen to them, what they're going to be doing in 6 months and another year. Back in my mind, I'm scratching my head like, you people probably ain't even got another 6 months at this job. I'm like, all of us probably finna get laid the fuck off. And you know what? I don't give a shit. Because you know what? The less of you people I see, the better. And that's really how I feel. All right. So this is the book of 2nd Esdras 15, and I'm going to start at verses 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. It says, for the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people should stand up to fight against another with swords in their hands, man. This is going to bring, dude said it, it's going to be straight chaotic, man. Okay, people are going to literally just at each other's heads for the one of all things. Because they're not going to get a chance to get after the elites, because the elites they hide in plain sight. You know, you can't get to these people, but the Lord is going to get to them. Shit, you think, what's this guy's name? Joe Biden, well, he's stupid anyway. He may just fucking throw himself in front of a bus, how mentally gone he is. But you think you're going to have access to Kamala in that day? And she just a puppet. And where the hell is she at? You know, where the hell is Kamala Harris at? She's probably in suspended animation some goddamn where, you know. Probably put her ass on a rocket ship and launched her ass to space or something. Who knows? But regardless of that, man, you ain't going to see these people on the streets because there's going to be a purge out here. And basically, you people, you're going to have to figure it out on your own. Versus the men of the Lord. Hey, the Lord got us, man. He's going to take care of us. The Lord said you should be reserved from those perils, those that keep the commandments. So we fighting to get up out of here. And it says, for there should be sedition among men, evading one another, and they should not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. This is going to be sedition. Okay? This off the hell coming to America is going to bring about a global sedition because all the countries are dealing with this shit. You know, but when they take your food and your jobs and your luxury homes from you Babylonians, man, you going to lose it, and you going to lose it. A lot of you are high out your goddamn mind on all this medication, this fentanyl shit. You're constantly medicated up so you don't rebel. But the Lord is going to put a spirit on you to rebel. And it says here, they should not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of that action shall stand in their power. So meaning people are going to take it to the streets. Homes are going to be burnt down, apartment buildings, cars are going to be on fire. People are going to be shot down in the streets. Beat up, bloody. Oh yeah, the Lord's getting ready to turn up, man. And you can feel it. And it says here, and a man should desire to go into a city and should not be able. And because of all this, the Lord is going to allow them to bring in martial law, to bring back order to a crumbling society, to force you at gunpoint. And if you reject it, they're going to put you in a concentration camp and force it on you. And it says, for of their pride, the city should be troubled, and the house is destroyed, and men be afraid. And the men shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but should destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So this is what you people have to look forward to, man. Okay, so I'm going to end it there, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash. And with that, Shalom. Lord, so you're edified. Shalom.